Hey folks, welcome to the part 7 of this playlist. I just uploaded parts 5 and 6, but those are only for members. If you want to become a member, please click the join button. You can find this button below any video on my channel. There is a small amount to be paid, but believe me, the kind of knowledge and the exposure you get is unmatched. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me understand the pulse of the audience. It will also help you stay tuned to the latest contents around cloud certifications and a plethora of knowledge. So let us look at the question. See, there are S3 buckets and there are two regions, region 1 and region 2. So the first thing that we must do is use KMS. That is one, to encrypt all the data that is stored in S3. Second, the data in both S3 buckets must be encrypted and decrypted using same KMS. So KMS is primarily to be used, and we should have least operational overhead. So what is KMS? See, whenever you have encryption requirement in the AWS world, we use KMS because it helps encrypt and decrypt. Encrypt, decrypt, encrypt, decrypt. That is the purpose. Simple. Why do we encrypt and decrypt? So that any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot read your data, cannot go through your credit card numbers, cannot go through your Aadhaar card numbers, cannot understand social security numbers. Okay, that is the purpose. So one thing I would like to highlight here, please focus, please focus. One thing is important. KMS is a multi-region service. It is a multi-region service. So very important, understand this question here. A single KMS region generated, you can store keys for one region only, but with multi-region keys, you can choose to replicate multi-region primary key into multiple regions within the same AWS partition. So we are sure, we are clear, we want to make use of multi-region KMS key. Where do I find multi-region? In all of these options, only here. This is my answer, locked. Now in the exam, do I read other options? No, I don't. I do not waste my time. The moment I hit the key and I think that, okay, for this key in the question, I think this is the answer, I move forward. See, option B would be least operational overhead as well. So what it will do is it will create a S3 bucket in each region, configure replication between the S3 buckets so that the two buckets can talk. See, this is one bucket in region 1, this is other bucket in region 2, and both these dudes should talk to each other. And they are making use of KMS key using client-side encryption, which is correct. Now, why other options are wrong, you might ask. Let us go from bottom to top. Option D, it creates a managed KMS key. It is saying create a KMS key and S3 bucket in each region, configure S3 buckets using server-side encryption and with the KMS SSE KMS. So they are trying to use the S3 bucket replication here, server-side encryption. This way you will not be able to sync up the keys first. So you will have those keys separate into two different regions. Then how will these two dudes talk to each other, this S3 bucket with this S3 bucket? You have to use a language which is common. You have to use a language, say English, so that people in Brazil, this is people in Brazil can talk to people in America. But if people in Brazil say they talk in whatever, I don't know, Espanol, and people in America they talk in English, so the information cannot be exchanged, so the encryption and the decryption key cannot be the same. Hence D will not work. If you use option C, it is again the same one. It is using server-side scripting encryption for S3 buckets. This will not work. And A, it is again making use of server-side encryption. This will not work. We have to use KMS client-side encryption and multi-region. Multi-region. This is the key here. Multi-region. So this would be my final answer. So this option, question 35, so it is saying a company has recently launched a variety of workloads on EC2 instances. The company needs to create a strategy to access and administer instances remotely. So they want to do it with least operational overhead. So it is always about either least operational overhead. That means, human beings, they want to work less, or they want things at a cheaper price. These are two human traits, and even in any cloud certification exams, you will see these two traits. They will ask, it should happen with least overhead or in the cheapest manner. Okay, so dude will not want to work more. Dude wants everything almost free of cost or pay very cheap. This is how cloud works. See, if you read this question, what we have to do, we have to only monitor remotely and securely. This is the question. This is what we have been asked. If they have given you a wheel, do not reinvent it. What is the wheel here? They have given you this system manager, session manager, systems manager. This is the purpose. What is system manager? Collection of capabilities to manage your application and infrastructure running on cloud. This is meant for it. So if something is meant for it, I will use that, and I will not break my head on other options. So this would be my final answer. Now let us jump to this question. A company is hosting a static website. See, when you see the word static, what should you remember? S3. So they already told you it is on S3, and they are using S3 for Route 53 for DNS. And website is experiencing extreme increased demand around the globe. The company wants to decrease latency for users who access the website. Same requirement, like just like your Netflix. People, even people who are in Singapore, if they are watching American shows, there should be no latency. People who are in India who are watching South Korean shows, there should be no latency. That is how you have to do it, and it should be most cost effective, because dude doesn't have money. Okay, dude never has money. So you have to do it in the most cost effective manner. See, if you have to do such use cases, answer this, CloudFront distribution is the answer for it. That is how you can improve the decrease the latency, improve the performance. So this is what you should read. Pause this, read it carefully. It's a web service. It speeds up distribution of your static and dynamic content like HTML, CSS, JS, image files, and so on. So this is one of the example where you can use this for your fast tracking of your website or YouTube applications. YouTube uses such features so often. So this would be my answer, option C, because CloudFront distribution is the only way forward. Now, why not A? See, A is saying that they will replicate the S3 bucket that contains the website to all regions. So this is not efficient, because every time you are currently everybody works in the agile manner. So in the agile manner, every couple of days you are putting up a release, and if you have, for example, 20 regions, you will become mad, man, putting this content in 20 regions every 2 days. Now you might say, hey, you know what? I have brains. I would schedule it. I would use CI/CD pipelines. Cloud Guru. Who the hell does manual deployment of softwares or applications in today's world? Yes, my friend, but still, this is not a good option. Why? Because you will have to wait for all 20 locations to be up before the changes can be called out in production. Okay, otherwise, Netflix in India will see something else. Netflix in South Korea will see something else. You understand? That is what will happen. That's why A is wrong, because replication will work very slowly compared to the speed that we require. We want rockets, and you are giving solutions which only works till cars like Tesla car. That's all. Now B says provision accelerators in global accelerator like, and so AWS global accelerators, what is the purpose? So you can make use of AWS global network to improve the performance. So what means is, it is saying that I will use the internal network to fast track it, but CloudFront distribution will do the same. But just global accelerator will not help, because you will have to use a CloudFront distribution to fast track and reduce the latency. And D, it says I will use transfer acceleration. See, this will help you only to transfer files over long distances between client and S3 bucket. It will improve transfer speeds. It will not improve your website speed. You don't want to improve transfer speeds. You want to improve your website speed. That's why this is wrong. This would be my final answer. Folks, please hit the subscribe and the like button. Do not forget to click the join button if you are interested to have a look at more content, more questions, more concepts, more knowledge. This is the end of part 7. See you in the next part.